I don't think anybody's satisfied with the budget that passed last night. There was never a scenario that was going to be a good budget. This was a cuts budget, and it was a brutal cuts budget.
Okay, not really what you love to hear from Portland City Council President Jamie Dunphy. That's less than 24 hours after council reluctantly passed a final budget. Okay, the vote comes after weeks of lengthy and heated debates over the $8.5 billion plan. 9 councilors voted for it, 2 voted against it. Councilors Eric Zimmerman and Dan Ryan. We'll hear from him in just a moment. And President Jamie Dunphy abstained from voting because his wife works at a nonprofit that gets city money.
I think that the art of compromise is really at the center of all of this discussion. And I put forward many amendments that didn't get support. One of them did, but at the end of the day, we have to adopt a budget, and so I voted for one.
That's the last thing I thought I'd ever do is vote no on a budget. I'm pretty fiscally responsible, and I think it put us in higher risk. I also did let the mayor know that I wasn't ever comfortable with the fact that there were cuts to police, there were cuts to fire, and so I just had to stick with my values.
Yes, I did vote for it reluctantly. It's inadequate because the mayor decided to cut public safety, which is a high priority for me. It was really inappropriate, so I'm going to work on restoring some of those cuts.
Okay, let's talk about those cuts to public safety and to the Portland Police Bureau. Today, Chief Bob Day said he's having to make around $20 million in cuts, including to officer training, equipment, overtime hours, and gutting the Public Safety Support Specialist program. Those are non-sworn officers responding to low-level calls, that's one of them there, calls that otherwise may not get any police response. Chief Day said they respond to around 25,000 calls a year, but the program is now forced to make an 80% cut. So right now there are 38 of those officers, and after cuts, Chief Day expects just 8 to remain.
We're going to have to change the way we do business. This is not where we can do more with less. We are going to be doing less. And we were already well documented being behind the curve on being properly staffed and properly resourced. And unfortunately, given the circumstances that we're in, we're now going to be a little bit more behind.
So it's worth noting the Bureau currently has nearly 70 vacant sworn officer positions, but the chief says he made it a priority to keep those positions funded.
I was in Boston a couple of weeks ago. It's a city that's half the geographic size, almost the same population, maybe a little more. They have 2,800 sworn members. We have 800. It's going to be a hard year. It's going to be tough for us, but I'm confident that we're on a path that's going to continue to elevate this conversation around policing, and I look forward to that conversation with Portlanders, with council, and with the mayor and the city administrator.
In some good news, the Bureau was able to restore a handful of admin positions, keeping precincts open to the public. And there is still time to restore even more cuts, not only to police, but to other core services as well. And that's what many councilors tell me they're focused on now.
The amendment got filed last night while the meeting was happening. This is an active conversation. My staff are talking to other council offices as we speak. So we're going to move as urgently as possible.
Meantime, Mayor Keith Wilson told us today in part, emerging from this difficult process, Portland is full steam ahead. Together, as I promised, we kept every fire station open, funded every park and community center, preserved our shelter system, and kept every police officer and investigator on the job.